Yo, what up, man? Shout out to everybody, man, in the battle rap community. Salute to everybody that subscribed to the channel. It's your boy, Acito. I want to talk about this whole Dizaster, T-Rex, ARP debacle right here, man. This looks like just a huge miscommunication, okay? And it looks like a miscommunication on all parties. I'm blaming all parties. Even though ARP is not the individual that incited this, but he still had an opportunity to pretty much handle this shit behind closed doors. But I'm not mad at him, for addressing the shit publicly when he was disrespected publicly. So a lot of shit took place, man, in that Dizaster Easy to Block Captain battle. With the whole NDA situation. And in the battle, I believe it was the third round, Dizaster pretty much says F ARP, ARP can SMD, and F anybody that rocks with ARP. Basically, he is pretty much accusing ARP of trying to sabotage the Big K versus T-Rex battle. I guess ARP and Dizaster had a conversation, and Dizaster running his mouth, talking too much. I guess he told ARP, I guess within good faith, that he was booking Big K versus T-Rex. I don't know if he told him at the time when it was already booked, or it was at a point where the battle was talked about, but it wasn't booked all the way contractually. So he does this, and I guess a conversation is had with T-Rex in Dizaster. I don't know how long apart this is, but a conversation amongst those two is had. Now, I don't know, in between that conversation, something was said from T-Rex to Dizaster, where Dizaster took what T-Rex said basically as an indication of ARP trying to pretty much take him off the battle, take him off the card, or maybe offering him more money, or maybe, whatever the case may be. Now, Dizaster takes that information, runs with it, puts it in a battle, and disrespects ARP badly. Violates him. So then ARP goes, and defends himself. ARP is not going to just let any type of rumor or any type of stigma be on his name, on his brand. So he pretty much, goes for his defense. He pulls out text messages. He goes in depth of talking about the last time that he talked to Rex. Says that him and Rex were kind of on a good side. But at the same time, he was like, what do I gain, or why would I try to pull T-Rex off your card when I don't have any personal dealings with him? I don't do business with him. I tried to, but he's like, I kind of got burnt in the past. He tried to book Rex versus Ill Will. Rex supposedly got into a car accident, couldn't do the battle, but then a couple weeks later, he's on stage with Mook and Calico, I believe with the 2-on-2, and he's swinging a bottle. Supposedly he got his back, messed up, whatever the case may be. I don't know, but ARP said he felt some type of way, but he didn't say anything about it. He kind of just brushed it under the rug and kept it moving. And then he said T-Rex also said some slick shit about him on the Queen's Flip interview. I remember that as well. So he's like, it was a pattern of Rex kind of like indirectly saying certain shit to him. So he's like, I hope Rex is not, the catalyst behind this, putting a battery or putting misinformation in Dizaster's head for him to run and publicly disrespect me when he's like, Diz, I just talked to you on the phone. I thought we had a good rapport. I thought we had a good relationship. I've helped you. I've given you certain advice and things of that nature. So for you not to give me a call and just openly disrespect me, I have a real big problem with that. And I think that's some sucker shit too. Like, if you have a relationship, you're booking battlers that perform on RBE. You know what I'm saying? Diz is like, I've looked out. ARP saying I've looked out. Not even just for Diz, but other battlers and other league owners. When it comes to negotiations or, reaching out, trying to, book certain things. He's done that for the love. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't like that. I know Dizaster is known for just saying outlandish shit. Sometimes it could just be for shock value. But Dizaster's running with everything that he said in the Easy battle was true. It was not fabricated at all. So I have to take that with a grain of salt. But I don't blame ARP, and while ARP was on live pretty much clearing his name, T-Rex is calling him, and he pretty much is like, yo, I'll call you back after I clear my name and I get everything out. And then T-Rex goes on Twitter, pretty much throws some shots at ARP. You know what I'm saying? It starts getting a little messy. But ARP and T-Rex actually spoke behind the scenes. You know, they ironed everything out. They talked about the differences. They came to an understanding that T-Rex, yes, had a conversation with Dizaster. But Dizaster took what he said out of context. You know what I'm saying? I think it sounded like it was more so like a joking thing, and Dizaster took it serious and panicked, and he probably was under a lot of scrutiny because there was rumors, I guess, that certain individuals were not going to show up and were not going to be on the card because there wasn't that much marketing and promotion behind this card. There were no face-offs or none of that. And I was very, very confused about that. I'm like, bro, you got big battles on this card. There's no big promo from the platform. There's no face-offs, no nothing. So I was like, all right, this is looking a little crazy. But, shout out to Rex for reaching out and being a bigger man and mending that relationship with ARP, because it's like, listen, bro, you're a battler. You're not signed to any league. You want to be able to have the negotiation power. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe T-Rex was like, well, ARP trying to book me for da-da-da-da. He's paying me this. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe Dizaster's like, well, I just talked to ARP, and ARP said he ain't trying to da-da-da-da. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe it was just Rex trying to negotiate, and him having that leverage was like, well, I'm not signing URL. I'm not signing the RBE. I can put this number out there and try to get the most number I can. But little do he know, he's like, yo, Dizaster, why are you having conversations with ARP and our shit is not even locked and sealed? And that's where I don't blame Easy to Block Captain for having those NDAs if it's just pertaining his personal business and his dealings, him talking about his price points and his price points when he's booking other battlers. I'm not mad at that. If you have an NDA, pertaining to that, I'm not mad at that. Because if you have an NDA when you're doing negotiations, shit like this doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, if T-Rex has an NDA where it's like, all right, we're negotiations, but for us to move forward, you cannot discuss my number with any other platform, battler, promoter, league owner, whatever. If Dizaster signs that contract with T-Rex, then goes in the battle and then blasts ARP behind with T-Rex negotiation numbers, it kind of like violates the whole NDA. So I kind of like when it circles back, it kind of makes sense of why Easy has the NDA just pertaining to that. Now, I know a lot of people have their negative notation when it comes to the NDAs, just period, in battle rap. You know what I'm saying? I know Goods has an NDA where you can't talk about his daughter. There's other battlers that have, NDAs when it comes to personal things. Family members that passed away, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So I understand that. But when it comes to business, I'm not mad at that because you're protecting yourself as a brand. If you're trying to negotiate a certain number and the other party is contacting other parties that you've previously worked with to validate that shit, it kind of like hurts your negotiation power. So, it's kind of a smart tactic, to have. And it kind of protects you, So I don't know, man. I'm glad that T-Rex and ARP were able to, amend that situation. But I do feel like Dizaster and ARP relationship is done. It's a done deal. Like, Dizaster, which is an idiot in my opinion, respectfully, he's standing on everything he said. I wonder, are you standing on everything you say, even when T-Rex publicly went out on a platform and apologized to ARP and said that he reached out to ARP and apologized and saying that you took what he said out of context? Are you going to go at T-Rex, or are you going to acknowledge that and apologize to ARP publicly? Because he disrespected him on stage, then went in 15 minutes of fame and doubled down on it. You know what I'm saying? It's not good, bro. Like, y'all got to work together, especially when you're dealing with big platforms such as URL, where they have the resources, they have the budget, they have the manpower. You know what I'm saying? You guys as a smaller league, y'all need to be working together, utilizing y'all resources, y'all talent, y'all funds to compete at a highest level with these other platforms. You know what I'm saying? But I think this, for him doing that, I think it kind of puts a bad taste in the relationship. And hopefully Lush One maybe can, squash that and be the, the medium in between the two. But as far as I see right now, if favors were done, I don't think no favors is going to be done going in the future with ARP and Dizaster. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section about this whole entire shit, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. I appreciate all the love, man. It's your boy, Acito. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.